So I'm just using this as like a moment to go over everything competition related, like all the logistical details and stuff that you guys need to know if you plan on attending or you're interested in attending. This is still very much in the works. So like within the leadership team, we're still figuring out exactly what things are going to look like. But here's like the clearest picture that I can give you at this point. And also at the end, we'll like open it up to questions because this is kind of like our first time going to competition. It's a bit of a collaborative event, and I want some feedback and I want some input, especially if you have ideas, because we'd love to incorporate that into how we plan our trip. So getting started, just talking about RoboSub 2025. If you weren't already aware, the competition's being held second week of August, so 11th to 17th. That's a Monday through a Sunday. So it's a long week. That's 7 nights. It's in Irvine, California, and there's 60 teams coming from all over the world to compete. So there's a lot of people there. Also, just like goals for our team is because it's our first competition, we're kind of there still to like check it out, have fun, and just learn as much as we can from the other teams there. I'm hoping personally to like be the best UC at the competition. I think that would be a pretty cool achievement. Win at least one award. We kind of have our eyes on the MATLAB award, just as like a baseline because we're using MATLAB for so much of the physics and code. And then hopefully we can like steal something else as well. And then lastly, just like blow everyone away with a gorgeous vehicle and a really energetic team, and just a really well managed team. Okay. Yeah, Tanish, you're gonna blow everyone away. So just in terms of the schedule, this is a 7-day competition. Long story short, that's a long time to be out there in Irvine. We're not expecting everyone to be out there if you're coming. We'd love to have everyone who can make it there as long as possible, but within what we're kind of like offering and proposing to you guys as team members is that like giving you guys three options, either attending the full 7 nights, attending the first half, which is about 4 nights, or attending the second half, which is about 3 nights. That way you can still, if you can't attend the full 7 nights, get a taste of competition, still be out there for a good chunk of time, meet some other teams and get involved. But not like sink an entire week away from like jobs or internships or other summer plans that you might have in order to be at the competition, even though we'd love to have you. Yeah, and then the schedule's up here. It's also on the RoboSub website. They have slides about the competition and just more about like general competition operations. Just so you know, first day is just kind of check-in orientation. Then days 2 through 4 are qualifications and practice matches. And then, ooh, I can hear that though. Mute yourself. There we go. And then days like 5 through 7 are more semifinals rounds, but then finals rounds. And what we're kind of recommending right now is that if you are interested in coming and you don't want to be there for the full competition, I recommend the first half because that's when like we as a team will be really active with troubleshooting our vehicle and getting everything up and running. That's when everyone will be there at the competition for the first time, getting to know each other and checking out other teams. That's also when there's like sponsors and kind of like networking and recruiting type stuff going on. And I just feel like that's a much better time energy wise to be at the competition if you can't make it for the full 7 days. And then you'd miss the party at the end. So there's a full party. In terms of accommodations, oh, and I just supplemented this entire presentation with random pictures of me and Dilraj from last year's competition. They have a hotel block available to teams. And we kind of like looked into the two options using the hotel block or getting an Airbnb and kind of decided that I think for us, it makes the most sense to get an Airbnb a little ways away from the competition, just cost wise, and then just ease of operating as a team, doing meals, and then just housing people that are coming in and out of the competition and possibly aren't there for the full 7 days. So what I'm looking at right now is an Airbnb that can accommodate about 10 guests. We can bump it up to 15. It just costs more. And Like that's my estimate right now for like average 10 to 15 people there in the Airbnb at one time, assuming some people are there the first half, some people are there the second half, and then we have a good core group there all 7 days. It's got a pool, which I think is kind of like critical for us. And we can also test at the hotel where the other RoboSub teams are at. But I feel like it would also be very nice to just have a pool on site if we're interested in testing outside of competition hours. And then washer and dryer. And it's about a 20-minute drive from the aquatic center itself. So it really doesn't make much of a difference being at the hotels versus staying at an Airbnb. Um, there you go. Right, next is in terms of meals. As a team, I think we're planning, Jason's interested in kind of like coordinating this at some level, but we're kind of looking into a mix of catered meals. So just like ordering from different restaurants, and then we'll have someone go pick up and bring back food for like dinners. And then a mix of like team prepped meals. So breakfast is probably, we're just going to like buy a bunch of food for the group that'll be used for breakfast, and then have everyone make lunches that morning that they take to the competition. Um, and we're also hoping to do kind of a mix of meals with other teams as well. If we went to eat out, like joining like one or two other teams and going to a restaurant, and then also eating out as a team, just kind of like as a bonding thing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and we're also all adults and all college students. So like while we're there at the competition, it's assumed that everyone there is going to take up some responsibility in just like general operations while we're out there. And everyone's going to kind of be on top of things and be looking out for one another, just because it's not like there's like adults who are organizing the entire thing for us and taking care of us and making sure we have stuff to do during the day and we're well fed and everyone's like packed and not forgetting anything. Like y'all are adults. I trust you can take care of yourselves and just like a trust that you're willing to kind of help out with the group and make everything function smoothly. I'm not your mom, I'm not your dad. I'm helping to like organize all of this, but at the end of the day, it's like a very much a group effort. And then did I miss anything? Oh yeah, if you have any dietary restrictions, you'll specify that on a Google form for registration. And we're also open to any meal ideas if you have stuff in mind. Especially if you have dietary restrictions and you have stuff in mind that would be easy for you or easy for us to accommodate. Please let us know because we're happy to kind of like make that happen for you. Okay. Um, in terms of travel costs, this one is probably going to be the least organized by the team itself because it's so dependent on people's individual plans and individual locations. So just starting off, any sort of travel costs, specifically gas, are going to be handled on like an individual car group basis based on the driver. We're not organizing that part. It's just whoever's driving you is the one kind of like working with their group to figure out gas costs. We're going to do a group leaving from Davis and carpooling down to Irvine. I'll be part of that group, so I'll be helping to manage that. But we just feel for people that are here over the summer or people that are in the Bay Area or in NorCal, it's easiest to just all meet up and then take like two or three cars down from here down to Irvine. And then we'll also do one big trip at the end of the competition from Irvine back up here to Davis. So that's kind of an easy way if you don't want to drive yourself or figure out how to get down there. You can kind of come with our carpool group from Davis. Otherwise, you can fly, but we're not organizing that. Or you can drive yourself, or if you're like Lucy, if you're from SoCal, you can just get yourself there and like either you can stay with us. Are you planning on staying with us or do you have something else?
We can figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I know that there's a lot of people doing different stuff and we're going to kind of let you figure that out and we're happy to connect you with other people or pick people up along the way as we go down from Davis to Irvine. But that's kind of up to you. The one thing is we do need to know how you're getting there and I want to keep track of that just so we know where everyone is and when they're showing up and if people need to be picked up from airports or something. I want to know about that so everything goes smoothly. And then, oh yeah, I'm hoping to have at least 2 cars down at the competition or 3 cars down at the competition in order to just like shuttle people around and get food and make everything happen. I'll be one of those cars, but we are looking for drivers on that registration form in case you have a car and are willing to kind of drive it down to Irvine and be part of that group. And yes, all the gas costs will be covered. And yeah, to do competition costs. We've done like a brief breakdown. These are prices for the three options that were kind of like baseline options that we're recommending for everyone. This is based off of the idea that each person would be eating three $15 meals each day. That's just kind of what we've allocated for food. And then also that the Airbnb is about $4,000. And this is kind of the breakdown. So 420 for the full trip. First half would be about 240, and then the second half was $180.
Those costs are including meals?
Those costs are including meals. What those costs don't include are t-shirts and travel expenses like gas. We've kind of, I think all things considered for 7 days in Irvine, like we've tried to keep things as like minimally low as possible, finding like a decent Airbnb for what we need, but also at a very low price range. Same thing with meals. We're going to try to like keep things as like low cost as possible without like compromising just like team happiness and just getting people enough food. If you have questions about this, I can kind of like go into more detail and explanation of the cost breakdown, but this is what we're asking. Yeah, based on the trip. As a team right now, we've kind of like considered subsidizing costs and like what that would look like, and kind of reached the conclusion that if we were to do that, say like subsidize 50%, we would start next year with no money in the account. And I think as a leadership team, we prefer to have some like breathing room at the start of next year so that we're not like stuck desperately fundraising before we can like start making progress again at the start of next year. And we're hoping that this feels reasonable to everyone in terms of a 7-day trip to Southern California, where we're kind of like managing a lot of the logistics for you.
And as a reminder, you can opt to only come for part of it. So if the $420 is over your budget, you have two lower price options that you guys can work with.
Yeah. And the other thing is if for some reason you do have like limiting factors in regards to what you can contribute, or just anything else, you can come talk to me or Jason, and we'll kind of like assess based on like a neat like individual case basis. But we are like very flexible. We just need you to talk to us. Okay. In terms of payments, it's a little bit complicated right now because the school takes 6% of all funds that enter our university accounts. And in this case, I'm not a huge fan of that. So like, I just don't want to lose that much money. It's like we lose $60 for every 1,000 that comes in. So what I'll probably be doing is like setting up a separate account and managing all the funds for the competition separately. And then I will be making all payments using the funds from all of the members for competition costs. And then at the end, we'll look, and whatever is left over will just be donated to the university's like accounts for the team. And I need to like work out the exact process of how funds will be transferred and just sort out the details. But for now, I will be the one managing the funds, and that'll all be separate and handled. Okay. Lastly, just so in terms of like what needs to happen in order for you to attend competition. First off, we will be posting a Google form on Discord after this meeting, along with the recording and the slides, so you can take a look through all this. Before you fill out that form, go talk to like your family or whoever else you need to talk to in order to make sure that you have that availability to come for that full week or those couple of days. Make sure that you're comfortable with all the like the costs associated with it. And just make sure that's as locked in as possible. I understand that like a lot of people, their summer plans are still up in the air. They're still figuring things out and kind of waiting to hear back on opportunities. If that's the case, you can still fill out this form to the best of your confidence and just let us know that things are still up in the air. But in terms of filling out the form, I'd like as confident of a prediction as possible. I really don't want people being like, oh yeah, like that sounds fun. I think I want to come. Let me just like fill out the form and say that I'm interested. I'm like, if you say that you're coming for these nights, I need to know that you're coming for these nights so that we can accurately like book everything properly and like allocate money for meals and stuff.
The vice versa is also true of like, if you commit to coming and like you have a family emergency or something insane happens and your house burns down, right? Like, we're not gonna be like, you committed to RoboSub. Why are you not showing up? Right? Like extenuating circumstances call for extenuating actions.
Yeah.
Just, understand that
communicate with us too.
yeah, we need for logistical reasons, we need some amount of commitment, and this has to start happening now, because otherwise we cannot as a team move forward and start making plans for the summer.
Yeah, and I want to get a jump on this. I don't want to be figuring out all this out at the start of the summer. Like, I like to have this locked in now. Also, just because it makes booking Airbnbs cheap. The other thing with that, if you are talking to like an employer, or you're working an internship and you're talking to your supervisors about this, people are willing to support you, especially for a competition like this. Like, generally, I think people are like pretty celebratory of students doing something like this. And I would not be afraid to go approach your supervisor if that's something that you're concerned about, like missing work or missing internships or missing other commitments. I'd like highly encourage you to not assume that they're instantly going to shoot you down, but go talk to them, explain the situation and like why it matters to you, and what it is, and explain like the importance of it. If you're on like a robotics competition team, you have a competition like over the summer, and you'd like to like take a week off or take a couple days off in order to go and be with your team and compete. And generally, they're going to be pretty happy to support you, or they're going to work out some sort of compromise into like how you can still get your work done and also make this competition happen. If you prioritize it, usually people are willing to support you. So yeah, in terms of the checklist, fill out that form. After you fill out that form, we'll get your email, and then we'll send you a separate form through RoboNation that you have to fill out, because they need individual members to register if they're attending the competition. So you'll get that probably like a week after registration is out. And then after that, I will announce like how competition costs will be transferred. And then you are going to transfer those funds to me so I can kind of manage all that. Lastly, you're going to arrange and confirm your travel plans with us, whether you're joining the carpool or doing something else. We need to know about it, and just stick it in a Google Sheet so I can keep track. And then lastly, show up to the competition and kind of like show up, be responsible, have a good time. It's going to be good vibes. I think that's everything. I just have the general questions thing. Do people have questions about all that? Because I dumped a lot. I didn't talk much about the fun part, but competition's pretty damn cool. There's, like I said, 60 teams there, a lot of energy, a lot of really cool people. It's like 60 teams that have been doing exactly what we've been doing for the last year. And they make it pretty fun. It's a bunch of teams hanging out with robots by the pool, troubleshooting and testing, and there's a ton to learn. Okay.